And new numbers are out from the Commerce Department this morning showing the U.S. economy grew last quarter at a healthy 3% annual pace. ABC News Chief Business Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis is here to break it all down for us. Rebecca, this is a big one. So what do these numbers say about the state of the economy and where we might be heading?
Well, they really are confirmation, Diane, of much of what we've been hearing in terms of the overall economy and the jobs market, which is to say that things are in decent shape. When you look at jobs, when you look at economic growth, we continue to grow. And where it's notable is that consumers continue to spend. Consumer spending was a big reason behind that 3% growth in the second quarter. Of course, the GDP report, there's three of them, three different estimates that are released. This is the second. The third will be the final estimate looking back at that second quarter year-over-year growth. But ultimately, it's a repeat of many of the things that we've been hearing about this economy. Of course, inflation is the other part of this story, which is the thing that continues to wear on American budgets, not so much because prices are rising rapidly anymore in most categories. It's just that the difference between where prices were 3 years ago versus today is very significant and still weighing on family budgets, even though wages have also begun to climb over that same period now.
Rebecca, applications for unemployment benefits also fell modestly last week amid high interest rates. Are there decisions people should be considering right now about their own personal finances based on what we're seeing in these numbers?
Well, I would say, first of all, I'm a journalist. I'm not a financial advisor, so it's important to keep that in mind. But history is important here. And when you look at the history of where we've been, where we're heading, the Federal Reserve has signaled that it's very likely going to cut interest rates in September, so a month away. We've started to see mortgage rates dipping lower and trending lower. Even though their 30-year fixed-rate mortgage now is in the 6% range, we're nowhere near that 2 to 3% 30-year fixed-rate mortgage that you might have been able to get your hands on a few years back with great credit. It's certainly something, if you've been sitting on the sidelines wondering when rates are going to fall so that you can go out and look to purchase a home, it is something to keep in mind, to be ready if you are in the market for that, but also to stay within your budget. Secondarily, when rates fall, you also see things like auto loans getting less expensive, so autos may be more affordable for some. We've also seen auto prices, which really were supercharged during the pandemic and beyond. We're starting to see those fall a little bit. And then finally, credit card debt, something that you should always be focused on. Interest rates are high right now. That means your credit card debt is more expensive. It is the hardest debt to get rid of because it's the most expensive APR for the most part. So you really want to target that if you're holding, for example, Diane, student loan debt, mortgage, and credit card debt. Focus really on that credit card debt and paying that off because it will cost you the most over time while making minimum payments in those other areas if you can.
All right, ABC News Chief Business Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis. Thanks, Rebecca.